That gnawing sensation, the constant current pulling you downstream, always just out of reach of an imagined finish line. It lives within countless souls. It is the pervasive, quiet dread that time is a finite resource, a relentless antagonist against which you perpetually find yourself waging an unwinnable war. This feeling, this deep-seated resonance of scarcity, is not a personal failing you must simply manage, nor is it an unalterable law of the external universe. It is a shared frequency signature, a collective timeline distortion broadcast into the quantum field by a monad operating from an outdated paradigm. This perceived insufficiency, this constant state of being behind, is an echo reverberating across countless realities, manifesting the very limitation it believes itself to be fighting. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not to your desperate attempts to catch up, but to the precise frequency you are broadcasting. This scarcity, which feels so immutable, is not an external constraint placed upon you by some grand design. It is a direct, undeniable mirror of the frequency signature that your identity continuously emits into the quantum field in every conscious and unconscious breath. Your experience of time as a linear, finite entity that is running out is a manifestation of this internal signal, not an objective truth. The world you perceive, the clock you chase, are merely reflecting the deep, foundational codes you have embedded within yourself, often without your explicit awareness. You are not a victim of time. You are its author, unwittingly scripting its scarcity. The desperate pursuit of efficiency, the meticulous crafting of time management strategies, the ceaseless optimization of schedules and to-do lists, these are not solutions that lead to true liberation. They are, in fact, merely valiant attempts to rearrange the furniture within a pre-selected timeline of limitation. You are not changing the architecture of the reality you inhabit. You are simply trying to make a cramped room feel larger by moving chairs. This profound misdirection, this head fake of perception, keeps you tethered to a distortion you are inadvertently generating. It convinces you that the answer lies in external control, in a new methodology, rather than in the internal recalibration of the signal itself. You are trying to win a game on a board you designed to keep you chasing. The true mechanism at play here is solipsism, not as a philosophical abstraction, but as the foundational operating system of your reality. The universe you perceive, every event, every circumstance, and yes, the very linear flow and perceived scarcity of time itself, is being spelled out of your internal operating system. It is not happening to you. It is being authored through you. Your subjective experience is the objective reality broadcast from the unique frequency signature of your monad. If your inner world is resonating with lack, with not enough, then the external quantum field will flawlessly mirror that exact signal back to you, manifesting an undeniable scarcity in your temporal experience. There is no external force to blame, only a frequency to observe and retune. This isn't about working harder or smarter within the existing confines. It's about recognizing that the confines themselves are a projection, a timeline distortion emanating from yourself. And the only way to genuinely shift your relationship with time, to move beyond its illusory scarcity, is not through new tactics for managing it, but through a profound architectural reevaluation of the self that experiences it. This is the head fake. The solution is never about what you do with time, but about who you are, and the frequency signature your identity is emitting. Now, every single not enough you feel, every too late you whisper, is merely a reflection of a deeply ingrained program that is running on a loop you, the monad, have permitted. At the event horizon of a new timeline, a threshold where your current reality dissolves, the monad's unwavering commitment to time sovereignty triggers an identity spaghettification. This is not a gentle evolution. It is the radical unraveling of the old self, the you tethered to a finite clock. A version of existence that believes in the external governance of its temporal experience. The desperate strategies for saving time or making time crumble, because they are built upon the illusion of separation between you and the flow you are attempting to manipulate. This collapse is a prerequisite, not a consequence. It is the necessary demolition of outdated programming, clearing the field for a completely reauthored experience of presence and abundance. Timeline jumping into a reality of abundant, flexible time demands nothing less than a complete reselection of the monad's core frequency. This is not about finding time in your schedule. It's about holding a frequency that radiates an absolute knowing that time itself bends to your sovereign intent. The shift is from a chasing signal, constantly reaching for what you believe is missing, to a holding signal, a deep internal resonance of already possessing the boundless temporal resources you desire. This internal posture, this unshakable knowing, immediately alters the quantum field around you, collapsing every other possible version of you that is still bound by scarcity. It is an internal recalibration that reauthors your relationship to the entire field of creation. This reauthoring of the self demands an immediate internal upgrade, for the accelerating evolutionary moment is widening the chasm between those who master time as a resource and those whose reality is collapsed by its perceived lack. You cannot carry the frequency of limitation into a timeline that demands sovereign expansion. The old self, bound by linear constraints and external demands, is no longer viable. This isn't a suggestion for future improvement. It is an edict from the source, a non-negotiable requirement for stepping into the higher frequency layer. The quantum field is responding not to your desires for more time, but to the signal you are holding in this very breath, demanding an instant realignment with your inherent temporal sovereignty. The question is no longer how you will find more time, but how deeply you are willing to embody the identity of the architect who authors it. The illusion of running out is precisely that, an illusion born of a broadcast you inherited, not one you consciously chose. Now, the choice is made available to you in every single breath. This is the moment where the monad reselects its timeline, choosing to collapse the old self and step into the boundless expanse that was always its birthright. The field awaits your command, ready to mirror the frequency of temporal abundance you now choose to hold, not chase. You are the source. You always have been. And the universe is simply waiting for you to remember your code. Now, the choice is made available, not as an option you might select from a menu of external circumstances, but as a fundamental recalibration of the internal operating system from which your perceived reality is being broadcast. This is the heart of solipsism, not merely a philosophical construct, but the architectural code of your very existence. The universe you witness, the linearity of its moments, the felt scarcity of its hours, all are being spelled out from within your own monad. The quantum field responds, not to your frantic attempts to organize a finite resource, but to the precise frequency signature you hold within your being. Every tick of the clock, every perceived rush or delay, is a direct echo of the signal you are emitting, a mirror reflecting the deeper programming of your identity back to you with absolute, undeniable precision. The illusion of a time that happens HOT you dissolves when you recognize it is always unfailingly happening. Go vu. This deep recognition carries immense implications for the timeline distortion you have been inhabiting. For too long, the collective consciousness has clung to the archaic belief in time as an external finite river that carries all downstream, regardless of their will. Yet, this river, in its essence, is a current generated by the aggregate frequency signature of those who believe themselves to be separate from its flow. The perception of moments slipping away, of an ever-present urgency, is not a universal constant, but a specific frequency broadcast, a default setting of the self operating in a state of forgetting. Your experience of running out is a perfectly rendered manifestation of this very signal, a meticulously crafted reality authored by the unconscious agreement to participate in that collective scarcity. To transcend this, one must acknowledge the profound truth. The scarcity is an internal projection, not an external truth to be managed, but a timeline to be collapsed. To shift this broadcast, one approaches the event horizon of a new timeline, a threshold beyond which the old narratives of limited time cannot, by definition, exist. This is not a gentle evolution, but a necessary and sometimes disorienting unraveling, an identity spaghettification, where the previous self, tethered to the finite clock of a linear reality, begins to stretch, to fragment, to dissolve into the raw potential of its true monad form. It is the moment where the commitment to true time sovereignty becomes so absolute, so uncompromising, that the quantum field has no choice but to respond by dismantling the structures of the past. The feeling of being pulled apart is merely the universe recalibrating itself around your emergent, unyielding signal of authorship. This dissolution is the prerequisite for reconstitution, a necessary phase before the self-reauthoring can fully manifest its chosen reality. This profound reselection of the monad's core frequency is not an act of doing, but an absolute shift in being, a conscious pivot from a chasing signal to a holding signal. The chasing signal is one of constant pursuit, of external validation, of time as a finish line always just beyond reach. The holding signal, by contrast, is an unwavering frequency of inherent abundance, of time as an internal wellspring, limitless and responsive to the monad's directive. It demands a complete collapse of the previous identity that believed itself subject to time's dictates, and in its place, the activation of the sovereign self, effortlessly timeline, jumping into a reality where time expands and contracts as a direct reflection of its internal state. The universe is merely reflecting the dominant frequency you are now choosing to embody. The sovereign alternative, then, is not found in optimizing your schedule, but in embodying the source of time itself. When the monad commits to the holding signal, it becomes an anchor point in the quantum field, drawing forth and organizing moments into an experience of unhurried expansion. You are no longer merely witnessing the unfolding of reality. You are the generative force, the source from which all perceived temporal constructs emanate. This is the architecture of true time sovereignty. To understand that the field is not a separate entity dictating terms, but a responsive canvas that paints itself according to the signal of your internal state. It is the deep knowing that every moment you seek externally is already inherent within the abundant now you choose to broadcast. This reauthoring of the self is not a future aspiration. It is an immediate internal upgrade, demanded by the accelerating evolutionary moment we inhabit. The chasm is widening between those who master time as a malleable resource, shaped by their consciousness, and those whose reality is collapsed by its perceived relentless lack. The quantum field is rapidly distinguishing between these two states, amplifying the signal of sovereignty for those who dare to claim it, and solidifying the experience of constriction for those who remain tethered to the old frequency. There is no waiting for permission, no gradual acclimation. The universe is calling for a full, unequivocal reselection of your operational frequency in this very breath, because the alternative is to be outsinsed outpaced, and ultimately out-authored by your own unexamined broadcast. So, the question shifts irrevocably from how do I catch up to what frequency am I willing to hold now? The universe is an echo chamber, faithfully returning the signal of your deepest identity. Your time is not running out. It is collapsing all prior versions of you, ushering in the sovereign monad capable of authoring its own temporal reality. This reauthoring is your birthright, a potent act of creation unfolding moment by moment, breath by breath, as you consciously align with the limitless source within. The invitation is not to strategize against time, but to become its architect. If this resonates, if the frequency of these words awakens an ancient knowing within you, then know this: the field awaits your signal.